The Babylonian Gilgamesh epic, He Who Saw the Deep. I'm going to read tablet 1. And this is the coming of Enkidu. 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 Prologue and Peen. King Gilgamesh tyrannizes the people of Uruk, who complain to the gods. To divert his superhuman energies, the gods create his counterpart, the wild man Enkidu, who is brought up by the animals of the wild. Enkidu is spotted by a trapper who lures him away from the herd with a prostitute. The prostitute shows him her arts and proposes to take him to Uruk, where Gilgamesh has been seeing him in dreams. So apparently that's the setting of the tablet 1. Here we go. He who saw the deep, the country's foundation. Who knew was wise in all matters. Gilgamesh, who saw the deep, the country's foundation. Who knew was wise in all matters. He everywhere and learnt of everything the sum of wisdom. He saw what was secret, discovered what was hidden. He brought back a tale of before the deluge. Now, deluge stands for a severe flood. That's the noun. And then the verb is inundate with a great quantity of something. Inundate, inundate with a great quantity of something. And that's the verb. And then the noun is a severe flood. So a great quantity of a flood. He came a far road, was weary, found peace, and set all his laborers on a tablet of stone. He built the rampart of Uruk, the sheepfold of holy Eanna, the sacred storehouse. Eanna spelled Eanna. I don't know who Eanna is, so let's look her up as well. So Eanna, also referred to as the Temple of Eanna, was an ancient Sumerian temple in Uruk. Ancient Sumerian temple, considered the residence of Eanna and Anu. Eanna means bird-like. The name Eanna, pronounced Eanna, has a very sweet meaning. It means bird-like. It is of Irish origin and comes from the Irish word for bird, een, or ayin. So what are they trying to say? He built the rampart of Uruk, the sheepfold of holy Eanna, the sacred storehouse. Eanna is just an ancient Sumerian temple, right? Okay, so he built the rampart. Now the rampart, maybe it is what it is. Rampart, a defensive wall of a castle or walled city, having a broad top with a walkway and typically a stone of parapet. A defensive wall. He built a wall. He built a wall for Eanna. See its wall like a strand of wool. View its parapet that none would copy. Take the stairway of a bygone era. Draw near to Eanna, seat of Ishtar, the goddess, that no later king could ever copy. Climb Uruk's wall and walk back and forth. Survey its foundations. Examine its brickwork. Were its bricks not fired in an oven? Did the 7 sages not lay its foundations? A square mile is city. A square mile dates grove. A square mile is clay pit. Half a square mile the temple of Ishtar. 3 square miles and a half is Uruk's expanse. So they're talking about the temple of Ishtar, which is a square mile, but Uruk is only 3 square miles, which is pretty big. So that's a big ass gate to be a square mile long. Square mile is like a square mile. That's a square mile by mile. That's a pretty big gate to get by. See the tablet box of cedar. Release its clasp of bronze. Lift the lid of its secret. Pick up the tablet of lapis lazuli and read out the travails of Gilgamesh, all that he went through. Surpassing all other kings, heroic in stature, brave scion of Uruk, wild bull on the rampage. Going at the fore, he was the vanguard. Going at the rear, one his comrades could trust. So basically, this man can defend and play offense at the same time, because they're saying that he surpasses all kings in heroic nature or stature or whichever, you know. A mighty bank protecting his warriors, a violent flood wave smashing a stone wall. Wild bull of Lagalbanda, Gilgamesh the perfect in strength, suckling of August wild cow, the goddess of Nimsun. The goddess, suckling of the August wild cow, the goddess of Ninsun. That's his mom. Gilgamesh, the tall, magnificent, and terrible, who opened passes in the mountains, who dug wells on the slopes of the uplands, and crossed the ocean, the wide sea to the sunrise, who scoured the world, ever searching for life and reaching through sheer force. Napishti, the distant, who restored the cult centers destroyed by the deluge, and set in place for the people the rights of the cosmos. So it talks about, is describing this deluge, right? So this flood, I guess, that happened. And well, it's basically saying that, you know, it's talking about Gilgamesh and how big and monstrous this guy is, right? Because he's fighting all kind of wars and battles, and he built the wall for, Ianu. He built that wall. I guess it's a temple for the city. You seeing? And the city is Uruk. And the temple is Ianu for Ishtar, right? It's the temple of Ishtar, but I guess they call it Ianu, right? He built that gate. And what they're trying to describe here is that it's just describing the life of Gilgamesh and who he got in touch with. So Utanapishti was one of them that he searched for. They said, who scoured the world, ever searching for life. So we don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, but I don't want to spoil it yet. You know what I'm saying? But I guess Napishti was there after the deluge, and he built, it said, who restored the cult centers, basically. The cult centers, that temples that I can imagine, destroyed by the deluge, and set in place for the people the rights of the cosmos, right? So whatever he built, he built it back, that got destroyed from the flood. And I guess he made right with the cosmos, with the stars. He made right with the stars, or he made right with people. Was he doing this for somebody? You know, he said, it says, and set in place for the people the rights of the cosmos, right? So maybe he was doing something for somebody or something. Or are they saying that he rebuilt the temples so that the people can worship the cosmos or go back to their daily routine of what they were doing at temples? Like, what do you do at temples? What do you do at temples back then? Well, as far as I know, you worship at a temple. Okay, so it says, who is there can rival his kingly standing and say like Gilgamesh, it is I am the king. It is I am the king. It is I am the king. Gilgamesh was his name from the day he was born, 2/3 of him God and 1/3 human.